Takes, I think, around 20 minutes just to make sure that we didn't forget anything. So they are incredibly smart. They do it really well. The game we played here last time, it was the game with the lowest net game time. So they ever. Since 2005, wow. I think. And it's not about us, obviously. So they want to break rhythm as well. They take their time for a set piece and all these kind of things. We had the most fouls since 2015.
In that game?
Yes. So, and we are not the tacklers. So we all know why they want to have set pieces. So it's how it is. You know about it. They are smart. They do it the way they do it. I respect that a lot, and we have to be prepared for that. But in this maybe limited time available, we have to make the most of it.
Well, Thomas, 2 changes from the team that started against West Ham, and I guess a slightly different game plan here at Anfield compared to at home to West Ham.
Yeah, slightly different. I think it's due to the knowledge we have about Liverpool. That's a fantastic team, and playing home at Anfield, they're very, very good going forward. So I don't think it's any surprise that we changed back to our 3-5-2 formation. That we believe a little bit more defensive solid, but we still have the aim to go high and be aggressive. Then I know there's been bit of talk about our very good set pieces, which we're very proud of, and we are pleased with all the praise we get from people and also Jurgen in general. We all know it's a big part of the game. Liverpool as well. I think last year they were among the top scorers on set pieces, so they know it's important as well. We put a lot of effort into it, and then I've been talking about the time in it. We do the same. We actually quite bang average on time when we do our long throw and corners and so on, set pieces. But the biggest thing is win, draw, lose, we do the same. So I think that's a big point to get out there.
And Liverpool's home record is so impressive. I think you've said it's possibly the toughest task in football to win at Anfield. Why is that?
I think Anfield is one of the most iconic grounds. I think the crowd and the fans are fantastic in many ways. So that's a big thing that pushed the team. I think the way Liverpool historically, but also especially under Jurgen Klopp and his coaching staff, have been a very dynamic, energetic, high-pressing team that makes it very difficult to play against them. So the fans are really on top of it. So it'll be a massive challenge, but we believe in ourselves. We think we got a chance to do something here tonight. We know it'll be difficult, but we will 100% give it a big go.
Well, he says it's an iconic stadium. He says it's a massive challenge. They've won 8 out of 8 at Anfield this season, 1 defeat in 47 home Premier League games. That's the size of the challenge that you were talking about earlier on that Brentford have today.
It's going to be really tough for them. I think for me, especially in my experiences, Anfield has always been one of the hardest places to go and actually pull off a win. And Brentford are on a good run at the minute. And if they can carry it on, personally, I think right now with this Liverpool team, with the injuries, few injuries that they have, probably could be the best time to get it.
One of those results were
injuries that they have. Probably could be the best time to get it.
One of those results we're looking at, of course, is the Merseyside derby. Did you 11v11 before Ashley Young's red card feel a little bit more comfortable? Feel like a plan was working?
Yeah, I think we did. It was an open game. It was a typical derby, especially early on. Frantic, them counter-attacking on us counter-attacking on them. So it was a frantic game, and up until Ashley Young got sent off, we were right in there. But yeah, Liverpool, tough side to come up against, and Brentford right up against it today.
Right, Michael, you're going to show James your touch table skills, because we have to say a big thank you to Everton Football Club here. We're very fortunate to have been given exclusive access and footage in the table, which you're going to show us, about how Everton put a plan together to try and stop Liverpool, which of course is exactly what Thomas Frank and Brentford at Anfield are trying to do today.
Absolutely, Steve. Yeah, it's going to be fascinating to see whether he remembers what Sean Dyche says first of all, but more interestingly, to hear how Everton would set up against Liverpool in certain situations. So let's run a few clips here, James, and you can explain what, as a club, Everton were trying to do in this situation. So I'll pause it there.
I think what you can see, Liverpool have gone with the 2 wingers high and wide, pinning back full-backs, and then this box that a fair few teams are looking at doing now, creating midfield. And it can create a bit of an uncomfortable situation, especially for centre-halves like myself, where knowing whether to go or not and press those lads in front of you, because it's not a comfortable place to go. And as you'll see as the clip goes on, you'll see Romero maybe jump out of there, into position which isn't very common for a centre half to do.
I think it's important to emphasise as well that I haven't drawn any of this. This is what the Everton staff have clipped onto this.
Yeah.
In terms of this, so this is highlighting the positions of Liverpool. Is it fair to say then that they're quite narrow and they're happy for the ball to go wide into full-back positions?
Well, I think a big part of the game for a lot of teams is to get the ball through the lines into midfields and get on the half turn. Here, Spurs have set up very narrow themselves to get the ball wide to full-back areas where you can see Gomez and maybe that's Tsimikas or Robertson in this situation.
Let's just play it on a little bit because this is the interesting part. When the ball goes actually to the left-back area in this situation. So we've seen here Romero here. He's actually gone and pressed the ball. What's your take on that? He's vacated his centre-half area and we already know, you might have to help me out here, James, we already know that this run from Mo Salah and the run, they're the runs that Liverpool have been so really keen on and damaging to their opposition in the past. What would you do in this situation? Do you think Romero's made the right choice?
I think it's about reading the situation. I mean, we've seen Spurs play this year. They're quite willing and happy to go full press teams. But we all know the dangers that Liverpool have, especially as you see Van Dijk here. He's willing to put the ball at risk and go along with it.
Yeah.
And Spurs do it well. And another thing you point out here is that when they do go direct, you want your midfield to turn, get the shoulders turned and get back into position and pick up these second balls before the Liverpool players do, because Liverpool are excellent at getting people up the pitch quickly, picking up second balls and carrying on the attack.
Is that why Sean Dyche has highlighted? Is that why that circles on to highlight that we need to outnumber players in that situation?
Yeah, that's the danger zone there. They've got the ball forward quickly. As I said, Liverpool get up the pitch quick. But you see Spurs have done really well. They've got bodies around the ball and they keep it and get back possession back to the goalkeeper.
Yeah, no, that's an interesting clip. OK, so we go from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium to Wolverhampton Wanderers. Again, back four. You see the sort of the box in midfield here. What's Sean Dyche sort of looking for in this situation?
Well, you can see again, it's probably a bit of a diamond shape there, but it's that box in front of you. And then once again, you can see the wingers for Liverpool pulling you wide and deep. In this situation, similar to us, 4-4-2, you want to try and keep the lines in midfield tight and compact and make them go around the outside. For ourselves, our trigger point is always the ball going wide. So you can see in this circumstance here, Wolves are very similar, narrow, and they don't want the balls coming through these lines to the two number 10s who'll then get on the half turn and cause problems.
Whose problem in this area here? You can see sort of 4 against 2. Is that the defender's problem or is that the midfielder's problem? Those two players.
It's everyone's problem. For us, this is a very team-focused thing. It's not just about individuals picking up certain individuals. It's all about the units being in the right position. So, as I said, very narrow. Defenders looking to go and get on them, but you can see Dawson there pointing to his midfielder to deal with that and coming narrow. And there you can see again, the Wolves wide man comes super narrow. Not very common, you'll see that, but in a 4-4-2 with all these numbers inside, you need to be compact. And then again, Dawson's looking to read this one into feet, but as you'll see as the clip plays on, it's not a comfortable position to go into as a centre-half.
This is an interesting clip.
It's not a comfortable position to go into as a centre-half.
This is an interesting clip, actually, because if we just have a look at this play, Dawson in this situation, he's the key, isn't he? And what he does, just explain what his dilemma is in this situation.
So you see he comes in tight on his man, which it's fine to go, but in this situation for me, I wouldn't want to be stood there. I'd feel uncomfortable just being stood in the middle of the park, marking a midfielder almost.
Why? Because the gap that you've left,
well,
the hole
you can see the space that we put the hours on before, knowing that these wide men for Liverpool, they're willing to go in behind, and the back four, Trent especially, Van Dijk especially, will put the ball at risk in behind. And once you get in a foot race with Salah and Diaz and Jota, there's only one winner a lot of the time.
Okay, on the flip side, you say that, all of a sudden he retreats, and now the ball is so.
Yeah, it's very cat and mouse. It's very cat and mouse.
Because now if he turns, you're still in trouble. These players can still run inside. So do you stop it at source?
You want to try and stop it at source. I think what he'll be thinking is maybe he wants his midfielder narrower, even narrower, and getting that ball to go wide. But it's so difficult. And one thing you will say is that Wolves deal with it really well. They get numbers back and they force the ball backwards again, and they get back to a compact shape and sort of stifle the attack a little bit. But as I say, once Liverpool go forward, you get Salah in these positions, it's dangerous.
Yeah, so the general aim is to keep it going wide a lot of the time. This is away at Brighton. What's Sean Dyche saying in this situation?
I think first of all recognising that when Trent's playing, he does like to come into these midfield positions that you've seen a lot more in recent times. And it's a bit more, as the clip plays, you'll see it sort of goes to a back three with a two in front, and Trent comes in that right back position where he'll defend, or in possession he'll come inside. And also recognising that in this circumstance, Núñez up front will stay high, and maybe knowing that the way Brighton are going to press the ball high, that they are willing to put the ball forward, like I said earlier.
You mentioned Núñez. Do you like playing against somebody that plays high up against you, or do you prefer those players
he's
into midfield?
He's a real handful. He's physical, he's quick, he makes good runs. So I'd rather play up against someone right on me rather than in these pockets, but someone with his physical capabilities and the way he plays and the way Liverpool play, he's a very dangerous player.
Yeah, we see Liverpool building up here. Brighton not necessarily sending them into one area, whereas you were told specifically, again, when you played against Liverpool, you was told specifically you want players to
be honest, most teams will come up against, and especially teams who play with this very narrow four in midfield, you want the ball to go wide, and that's our trick, is to go and press the ball. But in these circumstances, it's so difficult because you're always trying to get close to the ball and not just be dead passive. But with the talent they've got, they're good at finding the spaces, they're good at playing through the lines and getting on the half turn. So I said it's a cat and mouse game. He's like looking to press, but also looking to go and just stop the pass going there because they see you in their eye line a little bit.
Steve, I think it's fair to say that's fascinating analysis from the Everton team, and expertly shown as well by James.
That's brilliant, James. And once again, thank you to the analysis department at Everton for that. And just a quick one for you. Brentford have generally played a back five away from home. I was at Old Trafford when they should have won with it. I know you did it a little bit as a right wing back under Kevin Keegan. Why does that system perhaps get better results at times away from home, like Brentford have proved?
I think in terms of this game especially, I would say because, Trent, he doesn't only come inside, he almost plays sort of like a right wing back as well. He doesn't just sit there, he's all over the place. So I think for the Brentford wing back effectively to go one-on-one, and the centre back should shuffle across, as James agreed, to kind of keep an eye on Salah. But it's a hard position because it's a lot to do with timing that I found when I played there. Like, especially going forward, your runs have to be timed. You can't just bomb on. You have to wait for the ball to be in the right positions to receive it on the other end.
Hey guys, welcome